Milan is a city that rarely stops transforming, but some of its most important changes happen quietly, not through something spectacular, but through careful interventions, conversations between old structures and new ideas. For over 2 decades, Filippo Pagliani and Park Associati have worked within that transformation, shaping spaces that respond to context rather than impose on it. From adaptive reuse to the evolution of modern workplace, their work explores how architecture changes over time and how cities evolve with it. In this episode, we'll talk about practice, transformation, compromise, and what it means to design architecture in a constantly changing world. This is Unfiltered Dialogues. Welcome to my show, Filippo. It's a pleasure to have you here with me.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Let's start from the very beginning. I am very curious to know about how you stepped into this profession of architecture. How did your story begin?
Well, my story began, I would say, in a very easy way, in the sense that I never doubt by the fact becoming an architect.
Yeah.
And this, if I look how difficult is this choice or professional choice today, looking at my child, I think is a really a good chance to have this instinctively when you're growing. So since the very beginning, I would say, since I was during the high school, I started imagining that I would love to be an architect.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone in the family actually
Okay.
that is architect, so
Okay.
it's quite strange. It was a choice really by passion, I would say.
Okay.
And then everything grew up very naturally, in the sense that I was very lucky, because at the point I was one of the first Erasmus boys. They had the opportunity to go abroad. And
Okay.
in that moment, I'm talking about the early 90s, going abroad in another university, it was like, wow, you have this possibility, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Europe seems to be really a big country, and then you
Okay.
can go everywhere. And so I went to Paris to make this Erasmus, actually in a school of design,
Yeah.
not architecture.
Yeah.
It was called doesn't exist anymore. It was called Les Ateliers.
Okay.
It was La Bastille. It was a fantastic place, actually, where I could open my mind in a different way, in the sense that the object was really, and the scale of the object was completely different from
Okay.
the scale of architecture.
Yeah.
And then I had the chance I just went to knock the door at Renzo Piano building workshop, that at that time was called just Renzo Piano Studio.
Okay.
And when I finished my period there, that was 1 year, they just called me because they need to have a young architect,
Okay.
just to start for a competition, that it was the competition of Numea.
Yeah.
So I just started like that, and I mean, it was fantastic. You can imagine. I mean, for me, it was really the opportunity of the life.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I took it as the opportunity of my life.
Yeah.
Because I understood that it was the moment where I could grow really and understand what was this, what was the meaning being an architect. And I would say that the piano is really, it was a small office in that moment in Paris. We were around 15, 18 people. So it was really fantastic. Then I have to come back just to finish the university. And then they called me again. And so and then I stayed for 5 years in total in the studio. So it was really an amazing period for me, really very enriching, where I could really understand more then when you are a student, I think that you can understand what is this profession, but obviously you don't have any sensibility of to understand how difficult it is, how delicate it is, and how many elements you can put together to understand how to do something that from a sketch become physically enormous also, or on a scale completely different. It was really a magic moment, I would say. Really, really very nice. And then after this period, I came back here in Milan, and then I started working with Michele de Lucchi. So I took this, let's say, nearly 10 years of work with someone else that teach me the way.
Yeah.
And then when Michele Rossi, we decided we were a little bit tired, we can say, to work for someone else.
Yeah.
For him was the same reason, the sense that I took, when I went to the Michele de Lucchi studio, I took his place. Okay. So in that moment he was going to London to Chipperfield studio. So after the period when he came back, and it was the coincidence of this, the aim really to start doing something alone. Okay. Knowing that it was very difficult because at the beginning it was always like that. Me and him at the table, we were mostly two. Yeah. We had a big space, not a big space, a big room. That it was an apartment actually. Then we share with some other friends, and we start like that. So it's crazy. We look today at the studio. It's really an amazing way, an amazing process, really, to arrive here. Yeah.
Tell me one thing that you learned from your experience of working with Renzo piano, and one thing that you learned from Michele de Lucchi that you still apply in your professional practice today.
Well, this is a good question in the sense that I think that trying to be an independent architect with your ideas, and if you have some teachers like that I call teachers in the sense that anyway I look at them as teachers, you really have to be careful to understand parts of the profession, but nothing that has to deal with, let's say, the way of doing architecture. I say this because I think the risk sometimes that if you take too much from, let's say, I wouldn't say even the way of making things, but the gest, the lines, I don't know. I don't want to talk about style because I don't think in our profession exists this word, and I don't want to use it. But to let you understand what it could be is a sort of comprehension of things and how you want to interpret these things in your mind. Yeah. And so I would say that from piano, what I took with me in a very strong way, I think is the capability of reading the idea that you have in your mind, trying to transform in something real, without having scare of the process to arrive of the realization of it. With Michele de Lucchi, it was different in the sense that with Michele, I had the opportunity, first of all, to try to express myself much more. In piano studio, I was more related to a group of people, and I was directed by someone. Okay. So I was a very good drawer. So I was very fast I drove kilometers very quickly. So I think I was very useful in that moment for the studio. Imagine that when I was there, it was the moment where the profession passed from the drawing to AutoCAD. And it was very quick. I mean, in piano studio, I would say that probably in 1 year, 2 years, there was this transformation. And I was exactly in that moment. So I came from drawing, and I went out from the studio, and I was still a drawing man. I'd say like this. When I arrived to De Lucchi, for example, he asked me to learn AutoCAD. So I had to learn AutoCAD, and I started working in AutoCAD. So also, I would say my mind changed a little bit for that, in the sense of what kind of interpretation of the project and things was also how could change by using this new technology. And there I had the opportunity, as I told you, to express a little bit more, because this was exactly what Michele de Lucchi asked me. Because I was, let's say, in charge of all the competition unit, and he started to make a lot of architecture. He came from design to product design, and he started to do things that were closer and closer to the scale of architecture. So that was for me a fantastic opportunity, because I started in a way to manage my way of thinking and looking at things, looking at the project. So there were two experiences completely different. And so if today I have to thanks for something, I both thanks them for teaching something completely different, but especially for Michele de Lucchi to let me going really in a direction, in a very free way, very open way of thinking. And I think that it was very good for him also, because this gave us together a way to test a lot, test new shapes, new forms, new way of thinking about architecture. And I think that we did a lot of interesting things in that period. So, voila.
You said something that I really like. You said that you don't believe in signature, or you don't believe in a particular design style. So there are two types of architects, I believe. One which follow a typical signature, and they believe in leaving an imprint on the buildings that they design. And then there are architects like you, or the work that Park is doing, where it respects the site, the context, and the building that responds to its surroundings. So what made you choose this style instead of, leaving your signature?
Well, I think that, for example, in this, I think that the teaching of piano was very strong. I think that at the beginning of his career, for a long time of his career, is really working this direction, in the sense that for each project, you have to find the right interpretation that comes from everything. No, as you said, comes from the surroundings, by the climate, comes from light, from noise, from everything. I mean, you could have so many elements that give you just the DNA of the project, that in the moment you understand that you are in the right direction. Okay. And I think that this is the fantastic things of our profession, in the sense that you have the opportunity each time to try to express something different, and try to express even a sort of research each time different. And this is the reason why, for example, here we decided to have a Park Plus. That is a sort of research unit that give us energies and ideas that we want to apply to architecture. So Park Plus is not something completely independent from what we do, but it's part of our life, daily life of making projects.
Okay.
And it was considered exactly for this and like this. So yeah, I mean, I don't believe that if you look at the portfolio of Park today, you understand that really each project is different one to each other.
Yeah.
And for example, with this book, with Reinventing Heritage, we took a long selection of our project of transforming the existing, and you understand that each time is different. But it's different not for the project that we start to have to deal with, but it's different because each time we try to find new expressions, new forces, let's say, inside the project that gives us the line for something new.
Yeah.
I have the impression that we have some problems to express a sort of repetition in our way of doing things, and probably we refuse completely this idea. So repetition is something that doesn't exist in our mind.
Yeah.
And if it comes out and it seems to be a repetition element, it's just because it came from a very long, long way of looking at the project, that probably if it arrives at that stage and it looks similar to something else, it is because probably we thought that was the best way to make it. So it's not just taking something and repeat it in something else.
Okay. Now let's talk about the city that you've been working in, Milan. So over the last couple of decades, Milan has come from being a post-industrial city to being a design capital, a fashion capital today. So how have you witnessed the transformation of the city, given that you have been an integral part of its transformation? You have built different projects which have defined what Milan is today. So how have you experienced this journey?
Well, it's something that we always say. We were very lucky because this transformation you're talking about was linked to our growing. So we always say that for us, Milan has been a sort of laboratory.
Yeah.
And for a long time, we didn't have the necessity to go out from Milan to look or to search for new works, because there was so much to do here that actually it was okay. I mean, it was enough for us and for the dimension of our studio to have projects here and what the city could give us in this sense. So I mean, Milano in these years has been a very interesting laboratory, not only for the renovation of modern period, but also for new projects.
Yeah. So when we talk about this transformation that Milan has gone through, there are a lot of existing buildings in Milan which you have modified right now. And adaptive reuse of buildings is one of the things that Park advertises and Park is known for. So how did you choose to work on adaptive reuse, and why not complete demolition and rebuilding from scratch?
To be sincere, this was it was not a choice. It was a sort of request of clients at the beginning.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, when we started, for example, with Serenissima, that it was one of our first examples of renovation, of adaptive reuse. It was clear also from the client in that moment that we didn't want to demolish the project.
Okay.
He didn't want and we didn't want it. And even if in that moment it it was much easier doing something like that. But we were in the center of the city. We had a very nice quality that we can understand looking and reading and reading deeply the project of the Soncini brothers.
Yeah.
And in that moment, that idea of renovation started with that project. And I remember, and this is really funny, because when the client asked us to do this, and actually we won a little competition that they made. When we won it, we were very sad by the fact that we couldn't express ourselves with a new building.
Okay.
And at a certain point, we were really close to the moment to say them that we didn't want to make it.
Okay.
We were so young and probably so, I don't know, crazy in that moment in our mind that for us, I mean, it was really, we want to build a building, we want to do something.
Which year was this?
It was 2000. I have to look. I think it was 2006 or 2009, something like this. We have to look at the date exactly of Serenissima, and it was amazing. This, if you think today. But after that, we start working for another project, and each time we understood. At the beginning, before making this book, before arriving to have the idea to making this book, we understood that anyway, this process of renovation was something that, as I told you, this laboratory of the city was something that arrived naturally. So at a certain point, started with that, with another one. Each time, the project was completely different. The interpretation was completely different. The architect we have to deal with, the historical architect, was completely different to each other. Soncini brothers, Zanuso, Portaluppi, Ponti. I mean, there are so many, so good architects. That each time for us was a way to read and to look and to learn something different. And then. It's true. Today, if we look at our past, we know that we are, I think now 22, 24 Renovate in project. We choose in this book 15 of them, the most relevant for us by scale and by meaning of the project. But it's unbelievable if you think that today, after 25 years, we had to deal with probably one building per year, we could say. So it's really astonishing, how many they are. So I think that it was a luck, also for us, was a lucky way of making things, in the sense that at the beginning we even didn't know what we were doing. And at a certain point we look back and we say, wow, we did so many things. Probably we have to understand how we did them. And this book is we did exactly for that. The sense that we say, okay, but at this point we can build a theory on that. We can build really crystallize an idea of how we manage this way of making things of our renovation for our renovation project. And the book is exactly that. We could say that it's a theory of making adaptive reuse projects. And we intended like that. So it was interesting because we look at ourselves, we look at our project, we read again completely, we draw them again, all of them, we photograph them again, all of them. So it was really a way of stopping the machine, looking back and looking look at them all in the same way.
Okay. When I got in touch with Carmen regarding a conversation with you, the initial point was about this book. When I saw the post on Instagram and I researched more about reinventing heritage, I got very interested into it. And then when I studied about your background, the things that you said, that you don't believe in signature and the background of adaptive reuse, like my architectural background has been for 5 years so far now. So I worked with one of the architects in India who also believes in, respecting the site context. And the moment I jumped into professional career where I started learning, I learned the same things that you did from Renzo Piano. So I just found a lot of similarity between your learnings and mine. So the first conservation project that I worked on was a museum by Le Corbusier. So it was in India and it was in a very deplorable condition. So the government had the choice of demolishing it completely and building something new. But then we decided that we are going to restore it. But since I got admitted to Polyme, I had to leave the project midway. But it was very interesting to, have a different kind of connection with you.
For us, we never talk about restoration. We always talk about renovation. We talk about adaptive reuse, about new way of reuse things. But restoration is really something else. Restoration is when you have to deal with an object that is there, and you just have to make it new again, but without any interpretation of what. And it's very in our, I would say, the list on our project. I don't have in mind one project of that was completely restored.
Okay.
Because it's not in our interest, I would say.
Yeah.
It's really another. I could imagine it's another job, and even if we are dealing with projects that are selected in the sense that they are listed, etc., we try always to interpret something, to put them in the contemporaneity. Otherwise, I mean, it becomes really another job, I would say.
Yeah.
It's not part of what we like to do.
Tell me something about Pirelli 35. How did you manage to transform something which has such a long history behind it into something that works in the modern day and age and is something very functional today?
Well, the story of Pirelli is quite long because it comes also from a competition, international competition, where the client, at the point, couldn't arrive to a decision. So he called us and called Noeta and said, "Listen, you do both did a fantastic project.
Okay.
So we cannot choose one or the other. Would it possible for you trying to make the third project together?"
Yeah.
And we didn't know each other, so we knew each other. We understood that we had a lot of similarities, the way of thinking. They are very, very nice people, I would say.
Yeah.
And the dialogue started very quickly, and then we say to the client, "Okay." Both of them say, "Okay, let's try." And so we start again from zero.
Okay.
Obviously, they took some parts of their project. We took some parts of our project.
Yeah.
We tried to merge them together.
Yeah.
We transformed we understood that there were some other parts of the project that had to be interpreted in a different way. And I talk about the ground floor, the transform completely the project.
Yeah.
This idea of connecting the ground zero with the city. We go on with a project that I would say today is really, I like very much. I like very much in the sense that it's a very strong project, especially inside the context of other buildings of Porta Nuova. It has this urban scale that is a nice relation with the surroundings. I think it works very well. I'm very happy by the fact that we could activate really this ground zero. in a very strong way. I hope in the future will be stronger and stronger, because now we are waiting about shops, about retail shops, retail spaces. They have to be still activated. But I think that also if you read the project out, how was it before and what generate today, I think it's really a project that works very well in terms of plan, in terms of connection or new connection with the city. And I think also the work we did for the general envelope, I mean, transforming completely the project. This was a project from Melchiorre Bega, that it was a very important architect of the 50s and 60s in Milan. But the project was, if you look at how it was completely different, very close, very dark. I would say a project that was part of another era. For example, that project is one of the examples of the biggest transformation that we made with an architecture. So it's an adaptive reuse, but really we didn't change the function, but we changed a lot the face of the building and the function really of the building, in the sense that how we activated this architecture in comparison of what is the city all around. So I like it because I think it's a very urban scale project. It's not just a building put there. You understand that it has some strong relation with the city.
Okay. Let's talk about some philosophical aspects of professional practice now. The buildings that you design, the buildings that you restore, the new projects that you work on, do you get emotionally connected to them, or you think of it just as a professional job?
No, I'm physically connected with the project.
Okay.
Absolutely. No, this is, I think, this is the reason why I'm an architect, I would say. I need to find a physical contact with the project.
Okay.
And I have to be each time emotional by it, otherwise means that doesn't work.
Okay.
So no, this is, I mean, I can sign white paper on this. No, absolutely. It's the only way. I would say it's the only way to go on. I think that you really have to generate a sort of physical link with what you're doing. Otherwise, I mean, you're just making repetition of things and without any sense. No, absolutely. This is the first law.
Does this physical connection have any effect when, multiple stakeholders get involved and the building starts becoming a bit more technical with consultants and a lot of people jumping in with their own interventions?
I think that if the project is well done, even if this happened, that obviously happened, especially if you do an office building, also in a residential building, I would say. If the project has enough strength, I think that he is not going to change his energy.
Okay.
Even if he's going to be attacked by external things. If I could take a lot of examples. Probably one nice example is La Serenissima, that I live just close to it. I look all day. I pass through this building, and each day I pass through with my motorbike. I have a sort of, I jump always in a sort of love moment for it, because I think it's a very nice project. And now in the same road there is La Permanente, and also the Permanente I have the same feeling. really a project so in this moment I'm very lucky because I look at on right, I look at the left, and both of them I say, wow, we did something very, very nice. Yeah. So yeah, I think that
Out of all the projects that you've done so far till today, which is one project that is the closest to your heart? If you
well,
had
there
to
is
choose.
one that was really so intense that is still a project that for me has a lot of significance. Is the Saleva project in Bolzano.
Yeah.
Also because that represents a project a moment where with that project we started to grow really as a studio. I think that all the projects for Luxottica were projects very important.
Yeah.
Both of them, the Cadona project and also the Luxottica Digital Hub in Via Tortona.
Yeah.
The Cube and the Priceless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been really two adventures, two fantastic adventures. I love them. So difficult, so complicated. Such a small project, but so complicated and so exciting each time.
You mentioned this thing about emotions just now, that emotions are very important, and through the flat screen, it's a bit difficult to emotionally connect with other people. So, what do you feel is the impact of technology on design and architecture in the present day and in the years to come? Because,
well, I try not to be scared about it.
Okay.
And we are doing everything not to be scared about it, because anyway, it's something that is already part of our life. It's completely part of our life, even if we think that we are doing something without it, but we know that behind something that you're doing, there is.
Yeah.
So it's. I think the only thing I'm scared is how fast it arrives, and in this moment probably is the only thing that scared me. The sense that I understand that each time I want to learn something about it, thinking that is the right moment to do it, is already past. I mean, it is going so fast that, but I mean, it's part of the game, I think, in this moment. I mean, we have to deal with, we have to take the chance to take as much as possible from this without being completely, let's say, as you say, when something goes over you, no?
Over dependent.
Let's say like that. We still have to keep a sort of distance with that, but I repeat, I don't want to imagine to be scared about it. I think that we need and we have to learn about it, and we have to take the chance that there is this technology to make better things.
Yeah.
So we really have to interpret it for this, not just. I mean, it's a way to make better things and better projects and better. It's a certain evolution for us. I mean, it's just a way of making things. Probably having a new game, a new object, a new thing that we can play with, and we go faster and. But I mean, I hope that I have enough distance from that to keep myself as I am, and to use it as something that is going to help me.
Yeah.
But it's different for young people that thinks that with that they do everything, and that scares me. It's the only thing that probably scares a little bit. But for myself, no, I feel that I'm in a safe cage.
You're talking about young people. So I also know that you have been teaching in Polyme for almost 20 years now.
Yeah, probably more also, yeah.
So how have you seen this transition of students 20 years ago to the students who are a lot dependent on technology today?
Yes. I saw each year I notice a sort of changement of the students. And this is a comment that we do always by teachers, by all of us. It's sure, I mean, there is an evolution. There has been a strong evolution on the kind of students that we have.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that everything is the cause of this is based on the evolution of technological skills or things.
Yeah.
It's really an evolution of way of thinking of students. I would say that probably is more related to the world of internet than not today to the world of ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Becomes before. And the world of the internet gave a lot of opportunities to them, to us, to everyone. But exactly as ChatGPT, they have the impression that before they went deeper.
Yeah.
And today, when you find a student that they go deeper in the process, I think it comes out very strongly from the others.
Yeah.
You notice immediately when he has the state of mind to go deep in the things, it comes out immediately.
Yeah.
And you notice and you look at it. You look at him very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, I have this impression. Otherwise, what happened today is that there is a sort of floating horizontal way of looking things without any big waves of investigation. It's always something that goes like that. But you need, when you're a student, you need to have big waves or big deeps of investigation. Otherwise, I mean, you are just one of millions, no? And I think that this changed a lot. Before, in the past years, I remember I had students that were the interchange also with them and talk about them was very interesting in the sense that they have this, they want to understand, they wanted to go really to understand how things works. How you have to draw something to understand how it was built, etc. Today is a more softer way of making things, and then at a certain point they come out with fantastic images they just made by a quick ChatGPT prompt. I mean, it's. I hope that this is going to be just a moment. Probably we have to wait a little bit. It's exactly what I say before. It's going so fast, everything, that probably we have just to calm down, wait a second, and look what is going on, and then probably we will appreciate many things in a different way.
Let's move to the last segment of our conversation. Here I will give you questions and you have to answer really quickly.
Okay.
And short answers.
Okay.
If you had to choose between teaching and practicing, which one would you choose?
Practicing.
Being an architect. If you had to choose, okay.
Practicing.
One building in Milan that you wish you had designed.
Pirelli, la Torre Pirelli, il Pirellone.
Okay. Your favorite building material?
Sorry?
Your favorite building material?
Wow. I would say metal, in the sense that metal with this all the interpretation of metal. That it can be aluminum, inox, metal, because it has a lot of way of interpreting it.
If you had to choose between coffee or wine?
Wine.
A project that taught you the most, that gave you a lot of learnings.
But my project or Saleva project.
One thing that architects take too seriously.
Architects, you mean? Sometimes they are very boring. It's too serious in the sense that they are very serious and very boring, I think.
If you were not an architect, what would you be?
Wow. I don't know. It's a period I'm really in love with nature. So a period. It's not just a period. So I would say that probably something that have to deal with nature, with animals, with something with nature, related to nature. It's difficult me to say because really, I wouldn't imagine nothing deep. Well, what I will do, and I already done. I'm sure that I will start again. In a certain moment of my life, I was an artist, I would say. The year that I passed from piano to De Lucchi, I took 1 year off, and I investigate my way of thinking with art. So I have a lot of a collection of many pieces of art, thousands, because it was my life in that moment, and I believe that I never lost completely that part of me, but I'm sure that I'm preparing something to start again to do this, because it gave me really an open way of looking at things that. Differently. I mean, it was very difficult to find in another way. So for me, it was a very important moment.
Okay, Filippo, this was a very thoughtful conversation. I thank you very much for choosing to appear on my show.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure. I hope that it was interesting and giving some inspiration for, I don't know, for your life or for your profession. And it was. Thank you very much, because I think also the questions that you made are very, let's say, very precise and.